In custody tonight, two convicted sex offenders with criminal histories here in Colorado Springs. The first week of testimony wrapped up on Friday with a witness no one knew about until now. One of the big warnings that the state told Union Printers Home is, hey, you got to get more staff along with other complaints. But the state can't force management to hire more staff. That's completely on the management to do so. It's a reality so many family-owned businesses are facing. Get out now or risk bankruptcy. That was the choice Boulder Street Diner in Colorado Springs was forced to make late last night. Taking a live look outside at the Sangres, a beautiful day. It looks like a screensaver right there. Storm Tracker 13 meteorologist Sam Postis joins us now with a look at your forecast. And Sam, we're also looking into a flash flood warning happening right now.
Yeah, we are.
We want to go to some live video right now of a wildfire from Cherry Valley in California. Take a look at this. Firefighters working on battling the Apple Fire, forcing evacuations 75 miles east of Los Angeles. And we don't know the size of this fire at this time, but definitely a lot of land being taken over in this mountainous terrain. We'll be trying to work more details on this fire later on tonight. We're still a couple days out, but are we expecting some of that snow to stick to the ground, or are we expecting it to possibly melt early with these warm days leading up to it?
We've been told that President Trump has landed at Peterson Air Force Base and is now making his way to the stage here at the Broadmoor World Arena to speak to 8,000 supporters.
8 people were taken to the hospital after getting hit with golf ball-sized hail.
Bart, Heather, we have arrived. The only thing separating us from the police is this caution tape right here. You can see more than a dozen officers in full riot gear with shields. Protests would just end here, but you can see those hundreds now walking down, taking over the streets, stopping traffic.
Restaurants have to take down customers' names and phone numbers. They also have to note what time their customers came in, what table they sat at, and when they left. We saw plenty of people standing right here where this caution tape is, holding hands and praying together.
Now drivers will also see their new hotel that will look something like this. It'll cost $14 million and add 104 rooms.
The Wild Horse Fire moved through this area hours ago, and as you can see behind me, a lot of this area is still on fire. Dozens upon dozens of hot spots.
McKinley also recommends putting in extra gloves, coats, blankets, socks, and even snowshoes into the back of your car. But these aren't the only supplies that you're going to need. The dead moths can leave behind an odor and also bring out other bugs that will want to eat up their bodies. So here at my home, it looks like I have some work to do. So I'm going to try to take care of that now. Reporting in Colorado Springs, Chase Golightly, KRDO News Channel 13.
Bart, Dana, multiple people were taken to the hospital and some zoo workers were injured trying to get others into cover. There was so much car damage that they actually loaded up visitors onto buses and brought them here to Cheyenne Mountain High School.
This is what people at Cheyenne Mountain Zoo witnessed. Hail up to the size of baseballs pelting down on them as they hid under cover. Others caught in the storm.
From a fire department perspective, we had 5 patients that were transported by ambulance, and we had another 11 that were treated and released.
Skylights and windows broken. Luckily, no children attending the zoo's camp were hurt, but the officials did say 2 of their animals were killed.
Unfortunately, 2 individual animals passed away, 1 vulture and 1 duck.
People not allowed to go back to their cars, the zoo loading them up into several buses and taking them to Cheyenne Mountain High School. No one imagining it would end up like this.
We saw the storm rolling in and we're like, okay, it might be a little bit of rain. But then the wind really started to pick up and we realized, okay, this was pretty bad.
So we heard like a big boom and then everything just went downhill from there.
One woman we spoke to says her daughter was injured by the hail, trying to get people into cover.
The hail was so hard. My daughter got taken to the hospital. So we're trying to get to her.
Some people getting off the bus being treated for injuries at the high school. Many happy to be out of the mayhem, but now have to deal with the damage.
Now able to sign up to get their COVID-19 vaccine, but it will take time as tens of thousands of others get their second dose. This week, I had the opportunity to follow one of those patients as he received his. One, he says, gives him a second chance at life after he nearly died from the virus when the pandemic first took over Colorado and the nation.
One by one, dozens of people showed up at this UC Health clinic to get their dose of the COVID-19 vaccine.
Good morning.
61-year-old Hakan Karan is one of them.
Perfect. Can I get a quick temperature?
Sure.
Very quickly, he moved through the line and sat down for his final shot of the Pfizer vaccine.
Second dose.
Do you have your vaccine card with you?
Yes, I do.
All right.
In less than 2 minutes, he was fully vaccinated from COVID-19,
just like 113,000 others in El Paso County.
There you go.
All right, thank you.
But this last shot for Karan is the end of an incredibly emotional journey from where he was a year ago.
This is a bonus life for me. I almost died.
Karan was one of hundreds to get the virus in Colorado Springs.
I was having a problem with breathing. The fever, it went up as high as 103, 104.
His symptoms worsening to the point where he was admitted to UC Health North.
And I was in there about 3 weeks, and half of that was in ICU.
Karan slipping into a coma and placed on a ventilator, thinking he wasn't going to make it. Staff brought in an iPad so he could say goodbye to his family.
Probably the worst part of my life.
But after expecting the worst, his health improved, recovering to the point where he was finally able to leave.
This is the day I was getting discharged.
Hakan wanting to thank those who helped him, which he was able to do, as one of the nurses at the vaccination clinic was there the day he left.
Hello, how are you?
Wonderful. So good to see you.
Thank you.
Hakan now able to share some humor about his time with COVID.
The only good thing that came out of COVID was I lost 22 pounds, but I found them all.
He understands just how incredibly close he was to death. Close to never seeing his wife or children again, hoping that more people will get the vaccine so they won't have to go through what he did.
Heather, Bart, a lot of those crimes happening at parking lots at Garden of the Gods. I've personally seen underage drinking, smoking, and racing, and the people doing that aren't trying to keep it a secret. It's gotten to the point where first-time visitors coming to check out the iconic spot don't want to come back.
Visitors and locals alike line up to see the stunning rock formations at Garden of the Gods. During the day, it's the perfect place to bring the kids and take pictures while enjoying a uniquely Colorado view. But when the sun starts to set, a different crowd comes out.
We constantly see teenage kids doing drugs, smoking dope, gambling.
Cars line up at parking lot 9 just north of Manitou Springs. Mostly teenagers, blaring music, smoking marijuana, and drinking. They don't care who sees them. Photographer Kelsey Riles brings her clients out here frequently. At times, she is feared for her safety.
Sitting, as you can hear in the background, with their loud music, and they drive their cars extremely fast around here. It really scares off the tourists and, people that just want to come see beautiful sights.
Blake Bogg is one of those visitors checking out Garden of the Gods for the very first time.
Is this what you thought it would be when you went to Garden of the Gods?
Absolutely not.
He says while the sights are beautiful, it is not the family-friendly park he thought it would be.
I wouldn't want my kids here right now. We were supposed to come back in the morning. I don't know if we will. We might find something else.
Especially after seeing this.
There are some bullet holes in this pillar right here.
Evidence of careless gunplay happening right in the park. Tim Lynch is a frequent visitor who has seen some of the things that happen after dark.
Have you seen any fights break out or anything like that up here?
Oh yeah, it's gotten really crazy. I mean, up here, it used to be extremely calm, really peaceful, amazing little spot in Colorado Springs, but now it's gotten very wild and ignorant.
We spoke to one of the teenagers blasting music from his car. He says they get that complaint a lot.
I wouldn't really say crime, just rowdiness. I don't consider being loud a crime.
And while that may be true, the littering, racing, car break-ins, and underage drug use are. And it doesn't stop there. One viewer emailing us saying a loved one was beaten at gunpoint at the very same parking lot.
We are so fortunate to have Garden of the Gods, so it is incredibly important that we keep that location safe.
Since January, there's been 74 criminal offenses in all, with 36 in June alone. Multiple assaults, break-ins, DUIs, even a death investigation.
Lieutenant Howard Black with Colorado Springs Police says they know of the danger and are working to try and keep visitors and locals safe.
Through the summer months to ensure that we have extra patrols going through, just have more of a presence.
Visitors hoping more can be done to prevent sights and sounds like this. Sights that change the way people see Garden of the Gods.